Sleaford Mods have caused controversy by cutting their gig short and exiting the stage in Madrid, Spain, because someone threw a Palestine scarf on stage. Reports say this was the second time that the Palestinian scarf had been thrown on stage. Understand that Jason warned the crowd if they threw it back on stage, the gig would be cut short. Unsurprisingly, someone threw the scarf back on stage, and naturally, that was the end of the show. This caused some waves online, which led to the result of this tweet from Sleaford Mods' official Twitter page. Comments are now turned off, but as you can imagine, it was a bit of a mixed bag of responses. Now, I think the reason that this has disappointed and upset so many Sleaford Mods fans is this is a band dubbed the most political band of the last 10 years. I've been a fan myself for a very long time, and even had the chance to interview Jason on You Call That Radio during lockdown. So just thought I'd give my perspective on it, and what surprised me most is if they didn't want to make a statement on what's going on, then why not just ignore the scarf? Maybe someone who was at the gig can correct me on this. But to throw it back into the crowd and then threaten the crowd with walking off just seems a little bit out of character. I mean, that was always going to end one way. You know someone's definitely going to throw it back, and obviously you know that they're definitely going to leave the stage. And then the tweet itself has undoubtedly made things worse. To many, when you say you're not taking sides, it comes across like you're most definitely taking sides. We're witnessing a genocide in real time, with around 4,000 children estimated to have died alone in the last few weeks. And I'm recording this on November the 5th, 2023, and that's probably, I don't know if you'll be able to make out, but there's a lot of fireworks going off in the background. It's the 5th of November just now. Surely it wouldn't be controversial to demand a ceasefire at the very least. Innocent Palestinian civilians are largely without water, food, electricity, medical care as hospitals are being bombed. They can't even flee the country because the borders are being bombarded as well. So it may be true that it says that they don't have an idea of what's going on, but I hope perhaps they'll take a moment to reflect and educate themselves on the matter. For a band that's made their name on very sharp-witted social commentary based around left-wing rhetoric, it just seems a bit off that they could have got this so wrong, in my opinion. Jason strikes me as a smart man, but also very stubborn, so a Twitter pile-on is not going to help change his mind. But maybe he can find it in his heart to review the evidence on his own terms and make amends. It's not easy when you're that famous. I've got a friend who was recently destroyed by Twitter replies for daring to support a fundraiser for medical aid Palestine last week. So it doesn't really matter what side you take or if you sit in the fence, there is going to be consequences. There's been a rise in both anti-Arab and anti-Semitic comments online and in person all over the world in the last month. This is very heightened, fierce feelings on all sides. So I can understand the reasoning in not wanting to get involved. Choosing a side will make you feel the wrath of the internet, but so will sitting on the fence, and so will even being silent. You know, if you're a political commentator or a political musician or a political poet, by not speaking out at all speaks volumes as well. Silence is violence in its own way, but by throwing the scarf in is a political statement. So, I mean, to be fair to Sleaford Mods, they do make clear that they're against the murder of anyone. They said that in their tweet, under whatever belief grid. So maybe they've just mistakenly went about this all the wrong way. And when I say they, I think it's Jason. I don't think Andrew's involved too much in this. I think it's the wording was from Jason. But the wording of the rest of the tweet could have been had a little more clarification in what was meant. And hopefully, looking back, he'll regret the scarf incident. If they didn't want to get involved in all the drama, why not just ignore the scarf? Throwing that scarf and threatening the crowd was a political statement, and it does come across like sides had been taken. But whether he realised that at the time or not, possibly not. When you're in the middle of a live gig, there's a million things going through your head. The adrenaline's pumping. So perhaps he wasn't aware. The tweet was a perfect opportunity to clear things up, but that's undoubtedly made it worse. I'm sure Jason's probably aware of this in hindsight. Emotions are flying high. Twitter is toxic as fuck. So I can imagine like just wanting to just quell this. But I hope everyone with a platform can use their reach for good and join the rest of the world in demanding a ceasefire at the very least. The bare minimum here is a ceasefire. I mean, it's not controversial to pressurise all world leaders to stop bombing children. Sleaford Mods are an incredible live act who specialise in sticking it to the British politicians, and I hope that once again let the Rishi Sunaks and the Keir Starmers know that they have blood in their hands by standing idly by while an atrocity of this level takes place that we can literally see live streamed to our mobile phones. But what do you think? Has everyone been a bit harsh on Sleaford Mods, or could they have dealt with this differently? This is the news. You call that radio. Bye!